to this chili on some bullshit. Sipping on Bel Air, I'm on my Ross tip. Caution come through here, then we gon' start shit. Tiny low trigger, happy might just fuck around and park shit. Gotta watch these niggas, they be on some narc shit. Gotta keep that Maggie, I been on some bar shit.
How y'all doing today, word? It's your boy No Sense, man. We back at it with the Run and Tell Your Story podcast. Today we got a special guest today, man. Wonderful guest, powerful, smart, sharp. We got Rasheeda Jones in the house. You feel me? How you doing?
I'm doing good, Ashton. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here. This is gonna be my first interview.
Hey,
my first one,
interview. First interview.
I'm super excited. So again, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So, Rasheeda Jones, where are you from?
Born and raised South Central Los Angeles, California. Like, I'm from LA. I like to say I'm from all parts, right? Because I done lived in Inglewood, I done lived in the jungles, I done lived like literally throughout LA, touching schools like the Hillcrest, the Audubon. So I'm from LA.
LA.
The real LA.
What type of impact have LA had on you since you've been you're a LA native, right?
I'm an LA native.
So what do LA got? What kind of impact have LA had on you since, from then to now?
Okay, so LA is home. I have like this love-hate relationship with LA, I'm not gonna lie. Because there's the beauty about LA. Like LA, we have our own culture. Like everything about LA, from the way we dress to how we talk to like everything about LA, how we act, like our fashion. So it's a culture within itself, right? So that's the beauty that I love, the history of LA. And then you have the negative parts of LA that music and media glamorizes, and so I am a victim of that, the gun violence, the incarceration, and so it's just different things that happen in LA that I do have a resentment for because it's real. It's real. So a love-hate relationship, overall love, but it has definitely impacted and influenced much of who I am today.
That's what's up. That's dope. So let's talk about.
What are we talking about, Ashton?
I know you tapped in a lot into mental illness, right?
Okay, mental health, mental illness, yes.
Mental health, yeah. Talk to us about what got you involved in that.
Okay, so I went off to, again, born and raised in LA. I went to school here in LA, Cal State LA, and naturally who I am, a giving person, love the community. I choose the major of social work. So I graduated with my social work major, and I wanted a more broader experience. So when I went off to Clark, Atlanta for my master's, I just was like randomly placed in an internship for mental health. Just placed, like randomly placed. And I was like, okay, I done tried everything in my career path, whether it was LA County probation, I worked in that field. I worked literally social work, just all in that area. Placed in this office, and they was talking about mental health, and I started identifying. We don't really talk about mental health in the Black community, so I was not familiar even as a grad student. But once I was in that environment and I'm hearing about like PTSD and that stuff that we deal with in our community, I'm hearing about depression, domestic violence, like I'm hearing things that's like triggering certain things. I'm like, I think this is where I need to be. So I started learning more about it, and once I found like my niche and my voice, and knowing that we don't really talk about it in the Black community, in our community in general, but like highlighted in the Black community, I'm like, I need to learn more about this for self, for family, for community, and I have a voice, so why not like tap more into talking about mental health and promoting it.
What you being an LA native, I see, because I tap in a lot with you on social media. You know what I'm saying? And it's very powerful on how you tap into what you be tapping into. It's and how you go about it, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see you gravitate to Nip a lot. You know what I'm saying? Me as well. I mess with Nip. Like, I learned a lot from Nip myself. You know what I'm saying? Business-wise, just period. And to see a female, a woman, like following, you know what I'm saying, not even following, like just tapping into his push so cold, it activates something within you as well, and you start tapping in and doing what you're doing. And I was really like, wow, she's for the culture. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that act like they for the culture in a sense, but it's nothing to really show for it behind them speaking on it. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to really like tap in with you and have a conversation with you, because I see it. You know what I'm saying? I know if I see it, it's many other people out there that see it as well, because it's social media for one. So we're gonna tap into this, this book, man, that we got here. This is written by Rasheeda Jones as well. You feel me? And it's titled Justice. So why a book?
Okay, so this kind of goes back to like my role and my passion in mental health and where I found my lane. The way that I cope with just my experiences, whether it was things that I witnessed or things that I've experienced or just things that I've like learned over time, I use writing as a form of coping. If I can't talk to you or I feel like I'm in a trusted space, I'm gonna write. I'm gonna put my thoughts on paper, and I'm gonna express what I gotta say in my writing. So I've always been good at that.
Just getting straight to
Just
the paper,
getting straight
pen
to
and
the
paper.
And
once,
I'm
yeah.
the poet. I write the best essays. Like that has always been my lane. And then I've always like had this desire to like anything I say I'm gonna do, like I'm gonna do it. And so I always was like, okay, these writings are good. I know that they're good. Other people say they're good, but I know they're good, and I believe in how good they are. So I put on the vision board that I was gonna be an author. I didn't know when I was gonna do it. I didn't know in what capacity I was going to do it, but it was on the vision board. And so I initially started writing a book, co-authoring a book with my brother. He's incarcerated. And I started that because he was going through...
Is that Omar?
This is Omar.
Hey.
Shout out to Omar.
Shout out to Omar.
I pitched the idea to him. He was going through a trial at the time, and it was just like a lot of heavy negative emotions that we were both experiencing. And I'm like, okay, to get him in a good space, like, let's just write. And I came up with the idea, like, let's co-author a book, let's write. And so we started. He finished his half. I started lagging a little bit, but I was like, how about, like, I put out a project and let's see how well it does. And then from there, like, I'll establish, like, to see how good it is, and then we'll, like, create a sequel, and it'll be ours. So I definitely want to shout him out because it initially started with us, and this was just a start to, like, build that foundation of being, like, a self-published author. Like, let me figure out the game first, and then so when it's on us, it can be bigger and better. But, yeah, so to answer your question, I've always been into writing. Again, that's how I cope. That's how I process a lot of my experiences. That's how I manifest a lot of things, just putting a pen to the paper. And that's how I came up with Justice. Like, this was a personal passion of mine. This is my story. This is my niece and nephews. Like, this story speaks for so many people. And so I just put it in the form of a book.
Shout out on the real. Shout out Omar. Justice for Omar.
Justice
you feel
for
me?
Omar, I love you, bro.
On the real. Man, yeah, free everybody locked up, man, on the real. You know, I say this all the time, but it gotta be, it gotta be said. It's like we all got somebody incarcerated. If we don't, we got a friend that got somebody incarcerated. We got a cousin that got. So it's like it's so close to home, no matter how we look at it.
We're all impacted, whether we know it or not. Whether we know it or not, we're all impacted, and it's an issue that we all should address. And so, a part of something else I do is community organize. The organizations that I'm a part of they give people voices who normally wouldn't have a voice, teaching us about policy, about how to use our voice and our power to fight against systems that are impacting our people. So incarceration is one, and again, that empowered me.
Incarceration is major.
It's major. It's major. And a lot of people think that it's normal. It's not normal.
It seemed like it's happened so it's at like a high. It'll make you think that, you know what I'm saying? Like how long it's been happening to us.
It's modern day slavery. Like, if we want to go there, like, this is something that's been happening where they snatching our people and holding them captive, and like, if we really want to go there, so it's.
No, we want to go there. We're gonna talk about it.
They changed the language. Like, now it's prisons and jails, but this is something that's been happening to our people, and so that's why we have to have these conversations, and we have to talk about it, and we have to create space for people to process their experiences, because it's a lot of pain in those experiences.
And I got a brother locked up as well, right now. So justice for my brother as well. So shit, justice for everybody locked up, man. Period. On the real. Why the name Justice though? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so interesting. My brother was sentenced when he was 21. I was 7, and so that was like literally my first, I guess, insight to like advocating and being an activist, right?
Wait. So Justice is the name of the book,
and of the character.
In the character, okay.
Right.
So the people who know.
But it stems from us saying Justice for Omar, and I've been saying that since I was 7. Like my mom, when I remember she went to this Lost and Saw meet, she got a charm just like this, Justice for Omar. We had our T-shirts, our signs, like at LA Superior Court, like Justice for Omar. So that has been something, like before hashtags, we've been on that.
Period.
Like Justice for Omar.
Real life.
And so I just went with that. Like, we've been saying justice. Justice is a cool name. It got a cool meaning behind it. Like, we fight for justice for all, for liberation for our people. So why not name this little boy Justice and this character? Just to play off the Justice for Omar.
No, that's what's up. I love the book, man. Y'all definitely got to tap in and check this book out. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the podcast, we're gonna have her give y'all the links and everything on where y'all could go purchase and check this book out. You feel me? And let's talk a little bit more about it. You feel me? It's not just no book though, y'all. Hold on, y'all.
It's not just a book.
Y'all play.
I was really doing work with this project. I created all of these activities are created by me.
So tell us what all you did. What all you?
Okay, so I started with the book. So shout out to my illustrator, PQ. He brought my vision to life, like how I wanted the characters to look, what I wanted them to represent. Like everything is found in this book. But just my mental health background and me being a therapist and working with kids, like I understand that these conversations are hard. And especially for parents having them with their kids. Like sometimes you don't know the language to have with your kids. I personally don't have kids yet, but I am being a helping hand in raising kids. And I'm a therapist, so I have y'all babies across the table from me sharing their experiences. So when I created this activity book, it was important I know the language, so it was important for me to create something like, okay, once you read this book, now what? So it's tips in there to provide parents, educators, therapists, to kind of guide the conversation, to know what to ask kids.
And I feel that's not to cut you off, I feel that's very impactful from being mindful of that on how you even structured the book, you know what I'm saying? Because these conversations is not it's not a big conversation in a household, in a lot of households, you know what I'm saying? So to be reminded to just have these conversations with your kids and all that and talk to them about these certain type of things and have a book about it, you know what I'm saying? Not even just, you could sit down and really read this type of book with your kid and really be like, and then go into detail of what it means on certain stuff that you speaking on. It's so upfront. It's so direct. You know what I'm saying? You don't really got. It's probably rare they're gonna even ask you anything about like what does that mean. Like nah.
I want them to ask. Like I want you to ask. For example, like I can ask you because this is typical. I see it all the time. I ask you how you are, and you can tell me you good. And people just leave it at that.
No, you're right. And be going through a whole topic.
But that good is not sometimes good enough. Like, I need to ask you, like, well, why are you good? What happened to you today? Like, what caused that? So, again, just a guide to prompt more questions to really get into how you feel. What does good mean to you? What does good look like to you? And that's where you can find that, like, in the book, asking those questions beyond, like, the basic questions.
And I want to get into this, the activity book as well, y'all, because I was in there and I was looking at, I want to show y'all just so y'all see. Just the writing, the wording, the how it's done. You know what I'm saying?
What page is this?
This is.
Okay, so coping skills. Let's just, y'all can't get y'all too much, right?
Yeah, no. Y'all gotta purchase. Y'all gotta go buy the book. I'm just giving y'all a little snip.
Like coping skills, crazy that you stopped on this one, but like it goes back into mental health. Like if this is something you're experiencing, whether it's shame or isolation or however you're feeling, coping skills is something that you need to balance it out, right? So here you can find a list of coping skills. If you have no idea what coping skills are, it defines it, it gives you ideas, and then it asks you like, okay, so what are some of the things, what are your coping skills? So now as a parent, you have an idea of, this is my child's coping skills, and this is what they can do whenever they feel a certain way, right? And then because it's outlined in the way it's outlined, like this may be useful for you, not just your kid. So literally everybody benefits from the work. It's not just kids, like it's a children's book, but in the way that I wrote it, everybody can benefit, whether you're teaching a child or you're the parent of the child.
True. No, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Thank you. I really put,
you did.
I really put purpose and passion and intention
you could
in it.
tell you for the youth from just how you went about it. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't no. You could have wrote about anything. You could have. The book could have been about anything. It just shows how much you're reaching. You throwing that extra hand out, which is I commend it. I love it. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a kid myself. My daughter's turning 13. You feel me? This month. You feel me? So, and we already tapped in on the book. It say 15 plus, but y'all get them in there early though. I'm talking about 11. Even if he's 11, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's actually from 8, like 7, depending on like how advanced, but elementary up until, again, it's no limit on it.
That part.
It's no limit.
Y'all heard it here first.
It's no limit.
Limit.
It's no
on
limit.
The real. Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up, Rasheeda. It's like I can go on and on about this book, man.
I just gotta get it.
It leads to that. I need y'all to really tap in on this book, Justice. You feel me? And they got the bookmarks. Tell them what it come with when they purchase it.
Okay, so when you purchase the book, the book is a standalone, but if you purchase the activity book, it does come with 2 free bookmarks. And again, to be honest, wanted for, because I'm self-published, like I wanted to sell, but I wanted to reach the masses. Like I wanted in libraries, I wanted in bookstores, and I just wanted to be like the message to be conveyed. Like I'm not in it for like the monetary gain, more so like what is the message, what I want to teach my audience, what I want to, not even my audience, but like my community, because we all benefit. Like when we educate our youth, when we educate our community, when we empower them in ways that they could relate to, like it makes a world of difference. And that's like the message and like the legacy I want out of that. The book's gonna sell itself, right? And that's gonna come because I trust that what I put into it, I'll get back tenfold, right? Like God's gonna take care of that part, but I want the message. Like, what is the message?
We need y'all help,
like,
man. You feel me? To get this
message?
book
How can we get
out
it to the people?
And we're gonna do our job. We're gonna do our part. You feel me? We need y'all help too, though, as well.
To
push play with us on this. You know what I'm
saying? So if y'all know, if school administrators, teachers, bookstores, like wherever, CDCR, visiting rooms, like if you have resources and y'all on board with that, like let's make it happen.
It's something major though, y'all. And I ain't saying this because I know this individual or nothing like that, y'all. This person is really seriously out here. You know what I'm saying? Like putting in real footwork, applying pressure, and really tapped into the community. You feel me? So I need y'all support to support this, to support what's going on. You feel me? Because this is what's going on right now, literally. Let's get these kids tapped into this justice. You feel me? So what's next for Rasheeda Jones, man? What's next?
I'm at a space right now where I'm just like embracing all that's happening, because a lot is happening for me. Like I'm again a mental health therapist, I'm a community organizer, I'm now an author, so there's so many good things. But I also believe in prioritizing like what's important for me. So like I'm still want to travel. There's still places like I want to mark off the bucket list. Like there's so much that's going on. But right now it's really just like enjoying the fruits of this labor. So right now, this is what's going on, and I want to really like stick to this for right now and embrace like what's about to come from this. Because I really do believe this is going places. So really just being in the moment. Because if I give you something like what's going, then I'm on to the next thing without really embracing this. Like this is now, this fresh out. So I really want to like, you have to give things its time to see it blossom. Like I put in 2 years of this, so I have to give that much attention to it. And so yeah, like.
And you found, because it's like, it's funny how you say you had got getting, you got started with the book, like the actual processing of it? You already had the sketching of it or whatever the case may be, and you just applied pressure like right after you, like how did that play out? Like,
again, because my hands is in so many things, I had to like literally take time to like, okay, if this is what I really want, I have to take the time to like invest in it. So, and I wanted all hands on because I didn't want no middleman. I didn't want all of that. Like, I wanted my full attention and investment in it, and I didn't want too much outside noise. So I was just like, all right, if this is what you're doing, like, let's lock in. Let's give yourself timeline. So we doing 6 months to write it. We giving ourselves 6 months for illustration to have the ideas. We shooting it over to the illustrator so he can work on it. So everything is timeline with me, like giving myself hard deadlines, so it's not just sitting on a shelf for years. Like,
that part.
I believe in, if this is the goal, if this is my dream, like making it happen, because then it's just a dream. Like, I want to be here to see it flourish. So yeah, I started it, and once I started it, it was like all gas, no brakes.
And for you, if this is where the brakes is at within the final processing of having it finished, you did amazing. I ain't gonna lie, you did.
Thank you. Very intentional. Like, I didn't want to rush it. I wanted everything to be, and then I added some final touches. Recently, I have to give a shout out to my friend who recently passed away, Godwin. So shout out to him. Like right before he transitioned, I called it like a consultation, because like I really valued his opinion. And so, like, he's just like do it, like, don't second guess it. This is what you, and it kind of like gave me that extra, like, I already had the drive and dedication to it, but like he kind of stamped it, and I really appreciated that. And so, like at the last minute, once he transitioned, I gave a shout out to him at the end, just to let him know, like, I appreciate him as a friend. I appreciate like the inspiration and the motivation he gave to me. But and then wherever this book, whoever it lands in the hands of, like, they know, like, okay, whatever this message is right here, she's honoring her friend. So the message is God wins. Name was Godwin, and then God wins, and the like, God wins.
That's
like in
dope.
everything that I do, like, God wins. And so, you know,
how you worded it and twisted it up like that, that's dope.
And then it just tied into the book, because at the end, not to tell the story, but like, the system tries to break our families, right? Sure. Our communities. Like, the system is designed to do that, and we know who the system is, right? But in the midst of incarceration, in the midst of all the things that life throws at us, like, we're resilient as hell. Regardless of what we go through, like, we make a way, like, out of no way. And so the end of the story, like, it's just like, regardless of this little boy going through this, like, the family is still like a unit. Like, they still rise despite all of that. So God still wins. Like, like the family, the relationship, like, throughout all of the trials and everything, like, they still make it happen. And that's a testimony to like my family.
No, most definitely. And it's a part at the ending of the book that I really value.
What's that part? Let's see. What's that part?
And I really want them to tap into it. So I really don't want to zone into too much of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I really want them to really get they feel it. But nah, it's more of within, because it's a kid book. I'm thinking about all the parents, you know, with their kids out there, whatever the case may be. You gotta talk to your kids, man. Like. They be in their own head. You got to really figure out what they thinking about, like how they thinking about it, and et cetera, et cetera. Like, I have talks with my daughter on the way to school every morning, and I really pick her brain on, like, what is it, like how she thinking, you know what I'm saying? So, and it feels good. Even when it say, it'd be like, they could be like, I don't got no feet, it's like nothing, I'm good, or whatever the case may be. Don't let that be that they, you don't try again the next day or the next day after, because it's a continuous thing that you have to do in order to really get the real answer out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it'll switch up the next day. Now, you know what, Dad, I did want to tell you yesterday, whoop-de-whoop, this, that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta stay on them, you know what I'm saying? And to the kids out there without no real guidance, you know what I'm saying? It's still guidance out there. You just gotta look for it. You know what I'm saying? it's really there already. Like the internet is powerful. You got to just tap into it. You know what I'm saying? People be looking up for certain things that ain't really gonna help them grow or nothing like that. So you just got to utilize the internet a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Really learn. Just use the platform.
But okay, so let me kind of, is that, I want to first commend you for talking to your daughter and like being that intentional with her. Like I commend that because it's my role in the job that I do, right? Is to educate parents and encourage them to be more on their kids. Like I constantly instill that, but I want to challenge you a little bit, or not even challenge you, but like ask you.
I'm up for all challenges.
Not challenge you, but like ask you more so. Is that the message to the kids that they have to watch and seek it, or is that the message to the parents to make sure that the kids?
No, that's actually a message to the parents.
Okay.
That's the.
Because like, do the kids know like to, like, oh, I have to go find something inspirational, or are they just receiving what they're given? You know, so.
To a degree, it's more. I really look at it as at the end of the day, we're the adults. We can't look at them as they supposed to be the ones to tell us what we supposed to be telling them because we're the adults.
Okay, I just had to make sure because I'm seeing that a lot, and so that's something that I can communicate and convey, like, is to do what you're doing with your daughter, like be intentional with the conversations, and me also doing a better job. Like I'm not a parent yet, but like asking those questions more to my nieces and nephews because I'm seeing it a lot, and it goes back again to mental health because our kids are really, really struggling. They're struggling. They're going through what we're going through, and they're going through it in a way where they don't got the language yet to identify what that looks like to see mommy or daddy stressed, or what that looks like to see mommy and daddy crying in silence. Like, so they're holding all of that in, and then, you know, what comes of that if I don't know. So now you got kids that kind of behave in different ways because they're looking for outlet, but they don't know, they ain't developed that yet. And so, yeah, that's again my message with everything, whether I'm in my mental health, but it's all universal. Like I play the field no matter what, and that's just who I am. Like I'm authentic, and there's no separation with that. So when I'm talking mental health, like I'm always talking and pushing like the importance of that. And then the importance of like children literacy, like get these babies off these tablets and put a book in their hand.
My God.
and then read it with them to strengthen the family relationship. So my message is universal across the board. Like we have to get back to that.
That's
we
major.
Have to get back to that.
And it's crazy you highlighted that because these phones and iPads and tablets and all that shit, if you're not really monitoring that thing, the kid will make you think that they're doing what you're telling them to do on that, you know what I'm saying? But it's so powerful, and it's got so much with, you know what I'm saying? It's like when I took my daughter's tablet away, I got my daughter back. You get what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? Like, this what I was missing? You feel me? So it's really powerful, like more than you think, and you have to be real mindful of these kids ain't strong enough to understand if they scroll on something and they see something they ain't supposed to see, they seen what they ain't supposed to see, but they gonna still keep scrolling. If they gonna keep scrolling and keep, like, it's not gonna be, you gotta just be mindful of it's a touchy subject, touchy topic, you know what I'm saying, within speaking on in a sense, but just watch your kids on these damn things, you know what I'm saying? My God.
Watch them, be intentional, be present, because we can be in the same space but not really be present, and you think that that's time being spent, right? Encouraging you to affirm our children, and affirming in ways that like are positive. You are smart, you are beautiful, like you are beautiful, you are important, you're valued. Affirming them in that way, speaking life into them, like giving them possibilities, exploring other things outside of just LA and our neighborhoods, because we have access to so many things. Again, the beauty that I love about LA, we got the mountains, we got the beach, like we have so much access to these things, but we don't know that they're obtainable because some of us, not all, I don't like to generalize, but like So just again, showing us different things, exposing us to different things, getting us tapped in with our culture. Is Black History Month. Who are we outside of just our Malcolm X? I love Malcolm X, by the way, reference to him in my book.
On the real.
But like, who are we outside of like the people that the education system shows us? But like talking about our Mansa Musas being the richest, like there's so much history in who we are. As
We
people,
are the culture.
so like
no
we are the culture,
It's
right?
crazy.
It's
crazy. We don't try poking at that, but being mindful of really, we are.
Like promoting again education, everything that our history, and that's ways that you can strengthen the relationship. Like just having conversations about that. It don't always gotta be, there's so many different ways we can build relationships with our kids.
Reminiscing about my younger days, how we used to be at arcades, squabbles and fades, getting back at them gates. It's safe to say, not many can say they overcame the shit, but I can. Really in the hood, building business like Nick. I'm the man. Mama on a day-to-day basis, that's Queen B. But you can see yo youngin' up in these streets just to cheer me. So I pat my own back and keep pushing, you feel me? I don't do this just for me, do this shit for the family tree.
See, you gotta watch your ass, my nigga, up in these streets. Niggas will pull a fast one on you like you didn't see. I'm praying for all my loved ones, even my enemies. When I wake up in the morning, feel like I want again. I only can see the bag, nigga, even in my sleep. Can't even spend my last unless it's on another flip. I can put you in the past, depending on how I feel. Better be ready when it's real. Better be ready when it's real. Make sure you ready when it's real. Niggas is out here in the field, so make sure you got your steel.
So this was a very dope interview, man. A dope conversation. Something I really feel need to be more of a conversation in households and just more. We need more of it. You know what I'm saying? Before we head out of here, Rashida, is there anything? What type of encouragement, what type of positive, words you can give to the youth that can have them gravitate to what we on, the type of timing we on, you know what I'm saying?
The type of time when we're on to the youth. Okay. My words of encouragement, speaking to the youth out there, is one, like to live in your truth, right? So whatever that truth is, so whatever you are experiencing, like be okay with talking about that experience. Be okay with identifying how you feel, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, but find someone that you trust to do that with. I would encourage you, always express yourself. Like never let no one dumb down your voice to do that. What you say matters. How you feel matters, and just like validating that experience is very important for our youth. I wanted to encourage our youth to remain like hopeful in situations, regardless of your circumstances. I think that that's very important. I want to encourage the youth to know that there is someone like myself who like is rooting for them, who like loves them deeply, whether I know them or not. But I know the love of community, and I know how important that is. Yeah. So that you are loved, regardless if I know you or not. And that's important to know, like they're seen, valued, heard, and their experiences matter, which is why I wrote this book, so they can see themselves in this book. And not just this, like this is incarceration, but whether it's like the divorce of your parent, whether it is somebody died, whether it's you had to move to a new school and you lost all your friends, like all of those experiences are important, right? Because they all impact us in different ways. And just if you are impacted, like talk about it. Sure. Like there's space for you to talk about it. If you're dealing with identity, your gender identity, if you're dealing with, your parent not being there, whatever that is, like just really encouraging our youth. Can I give something for the adults too?
Most definitely.
Because I have to speak to as a community and
for sure. Right? It does. It definitely does.
So just encouraging the youth, like how I spoke to the children, like tapping into that inner child. Like so adults, we experience things, but there's things that we experienced as children that we're taking into adulthood that we never addressed. True. Like, right? And so we have adults raising children, still dealing with things and still trying to, you understand what I'm saying? So encouraging our our adults to tap more into how they feel. Normalizing mental health, like getting a therapist. Therapy is for everybody. They say therapy is not for everybody. Therapy is for everybody. You just got to find a therapist for you. And just being more graceful with ourselves. Like, our community is in a dire need of more love, like more collective love, like more. It's like a need, and so we don't have to be. I understand why some of us are angry. I understand why some of us.
Sure, why a lot of us are, yeah,
right? Because it's a system. Like, we are surrounded by things that are constantly at our neck. So I get it, but just being grace, showing more grace and love in that, and more compassion in that, and just upholding each other and uplifting each other in ways. Because, like I said, it takes a village. So if I can leave the people with anything, it's that. And then me personally, just encouraging people to follow their dreams. Like, this was a dream that I can now, like, see, like, the fruits of it, Ashton. And I'm so happy because I'm just really, like, proud.
You deserve
like,
it.
Having
Yeah.
the, like, really proud.
You put the work in.
I put
You
the
feel
work
me?
in.
So
Follow
you should be.
dreams.
You should
Like,
be. You should be.
Like Nip said, what good is a dream if you can't make it come true, right? Like, he said that, and I ran with that. Like, these are my dreams, and I want to see every last dream that I have, like, unfold. So
No, you're doing a hell of a job.
So that's my takeaway. Yeah, that I'm proud. And there's more to come. There's more to come.
Y'all stay locked in, man, with Rasheeda Jones.
Stay locked in.
Please, y'all tap in. Tap into justice. Go get it, man. Tell them where to get it.
Okay, so another fun fact: it is self-published. Self-published means, like, there's no big anybody behind me, and all of the money that has been invested has come out of my pocket, right?
That.
Yes. So literally out the trunk. I really got books in the trunk, if you know. But no, I have a website. It's tawfiqspublishing.com. So you can buy it from there. You can follow me on Instagram, Amani_X_change. You can find the book on BookBaby. Just Google Justice by Rasheeda Amani Jones. It'll come up. And we'll be on Amazon real soon, February 28th. We'll be on Amazon. We'll be on in Barnes & Noble.
Dope.
I'm trying to get to the local bookstores. Like, all of that's coming. But, yeah, that's where you can find it.
Y'all, let's help get this justice book out. You feel me?
We made bestseller this week on the platform, so that's an accomplishment. I need to.
That's major.
We made bestseller, so I'm featured for the month of February. They feature me for Black History Month, so another. I forgot all about that. I just had to flag that.
I'm glad we was able to get that in.
So,
you
like,
feel me?
right here on your show, since this is my first time, we're claiming New York's bestseller sometime in the future. I don't know when, but Justice will be New York bestseller, and we said it here on your show.
Y'all stay tapped in, man, with justice,
Thank you for
man.
having me, Ashton.
Rasheeda Jones, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Having an amazing story. Please don't stop telling it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta your story. It matters. You know what I'm saying? Keep going, and for the youth out there, you know what I'm saying? Be you. Exactly what we was talking about. Stay focused, stay motivated out here, stay positive.
Motivated and dedicated. Shout out to
Period.
my brother clothing line too.
Period. Hey now, Omar. Omar,
Rashid,
right?
Well, okay, so Rashid is my twin, and motivated and dedicated is his line. So it's
There we go.
like we
There
all
we
got
go.
something going on.
There we go.
Mama,
We just gotta stay.
making you proud.
Nah, I know y'all are for sure. Y'all are, man. Y'all have a blessed one out there. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna continue to run and tell our story, run and tell your story. You know what I'm saying? Y'all stay blessed on the real. Hey.